Hello everyone, it's Gladius. In 10.0.7, there are a lot of catch-up mechanics that help players that took a break from the game or are new coming to the game catch up to players that have been playing for a while. You can easily get a full set of 385 gear with very minimal effort, and very quickly you can get a set of 359 gear that helps you with world content as well. In this video today, I'm going to go into how to get all of that. So if you haven't gotten your 424 item level ring, that Onyx Amulet, go ahead and take a look at my guide in the description. It's going to go over exactly the fastest route for you to be able to get your ring very quickly. These dormant primordial fragments are going to be your main objective for upgrading that ring. But not only are you able to get those items to upgrade the ring, you're also able to get these tokens as well. You're going to be able to get drops like this, like the Primalist Cloth Belt. You're able to create a cloth item that could be equipable to Priest, Mage, or Warlock, for example. Any class that you're on, you're going to get these as random drops. So I've also been getting mail leggings, mail bracers, plate gloves, all these different types of armor. But the nice thing is that they are Blizzard account bound. So that means I can send them to any of my characters, any of my alts if I wanted to. Let's go over how you can get these tokens to actually turn them into 385 gear. Let's get into it. When you're in the Forbidden Reach, a big part of the gameplay loop is to be hanging out and looking for rare spawns. And while these rares will drop the Zskera vault keys, which are great for progressing your primordial stone and increasing the item level of your Onyx Amulet, also dropping from the rares are going to be the tokens mentioned before. We're able to get a random piece of item 385 gear for the armor class that it dropped for. The rare spawns are going to be region wide, and you're going to see them pop up on your map immediately when they spawn. You have plenty of time to get over there because the health pools on some of these rares are immense, and it'll take a while for players to be able to take them out. There's a couple that are tricky to find. And I'm going to go over a couple of the trickiest ones in this guide video here. There is a really good add-on called Rare Scanner that I've been using a lot in the Forbidden Reach especially. This is going to give you a notification, both audible and also visual, that shows you that a rare has spawned. So I can see while I was in the hub that Reisa the Drowned just spawned, and then Pyrachniss just spawned as well. I'm going to head over to Pyrachniss because the spider is one of the rares that I want to go over because it's a little tricky to get to. Normally you can just fly on over and then jump on the rare, but some of them are going to be hidden a little bit. So you can see Pyrachniss spawned inside of the mountain here. This mountain is going to be entered from this point here on my map. Go ahead and head on inside, and you're going to run into a bunch of elite mobs. Thankfully, since the Forbidden Reach is so new, there's a ton of players coming in and out of this cave. So you're going to have other players aggroing the mobs ahead of you. And also, too, there's going to be farming groups where players are just going to be killing these mobs for some of the drops. But in this case, you can see I'm able to run past most of these mobs because someone ahead of me is on their way to Pyrachniss right now. Now, what you want to look for is when you walk into the main area, you're going to look for this little torrent of air. Go ahead and head that way. Movement skills are a big help here to try to get there. You're going to run into the torrent of air, and then it's going to make you start floating downward. You're going to do kind of a glide slow fall. Now, don't try to fight this on your own. This is a pretty powerful rare, and most of the rares are going to be more suitable for groups. Don't try to fight them by yourself. After you finish fighting the spider, you can jump on down here into the lava pit and then interact with this crystal, the Gemstone of Return. It's going to send you back to the start of the dungeon, the start of the inner part of the mountain, where you can move on out and go ahead and start fighting some other rares you might see. Now, before I leave this area, there's one more area I wanted to show you how to get to. If you wanted to get back here where you're going to see the Warden Entrix or Arcantrix, these are a little bit trickier to actually get to. Once you get to the open area, you're going to head to the right this time. We're trying to get up to this platform here. And this is the platform we wanted to get to. You can see the entrance over there. You're just going to walk on up here and then come to this part of the platform. Interacting with this is going to send you up to the next platform, where then you can walk along this path and go fight the rare. After you finish up fighting the Warden, you can head on over and interact with this return stone, a lot like the one next to Pyrachniss. It's going to teleport you back to the entrance of the dungeon. Also, whenever you see bosses like this spawn, it's definitely worth going to fight them. You can get things called condensed magic that's going to give you a random primordial stone just for killing the boss. The boss is pretty simple. All you need to do is fight all the elementals in the area, wait until the shield drops, and then you'll be able to engage the boss directly. Defeating the boss is going to give you one of those condensed magics, potentially. Now, another note about the bosses as well, you're going to be getting a lot of an item called elemental overflow. I have a guide all about the elemental storm gear linked in the description below. Only thing is, replace the farming method talked about in the video with just fighting rares in the Forbidden Reach instead. It's way faster. There's one more boss I wanted to talk about really quick, with the entrance being a little bit tricky and in a weird spot. If you head on over to Gahz'raxes, this is going to be an underwater monster that's actually hidden in an underwater cave. So this is going to be the landing spot where you're going to might be a little bit confused about where it is, if it's supposed to spawn right here. If you see it on your map, like that rare icon you can see right here, if you see that on your map where this is, that means the boss is spawned and it is there. You could do a couple things. You could click on the nameplate that pops up with Rare Scanner. It'll put a skull over its head so you can see it, or just follow exactly where I'm going here. So you can see I'm in that skull area. I'm under the water. You're going to want to go a little bit south of the skull, where you're going to see a spinal column here at the mouth of a cave. You're going to swim your way into the cave, and then you'll see the boss spawn right inside of this cave. All right, that's going to cover the quick gear up methods that are available to you in 10.0.7. Once again, if you're interested in getting that Primal Storm gear, first of all, the Primal Storm gear is going to be $359 when you first buy the blue version. This isn't a bad baseline if your character has literally no gear at all for Dragonflight, because fighting a couple rares, you can pretty much buy an entire set. One more thing I wanted to add, I also have a guide on the Storm's Fury event. The Storm's Fury event is a great way of getting trinkets and rings at the 389 gear score level. My Primal Storm guide is available in the description below as well. Take a look at that if you wanted to catch up on your trinkets and rings specifically. If the video helped you out today, please heroic strike that like button. And if you want to stay tuned for more WoW content in the future, please slam the subscribe. I appreciate your time today, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, everyone.